tomorrow night, October 15th, we got a showdown between Anthony Dirrell, the dog, versus Caleb Sweet Hands Plant. This fight taking place at the Barclays Center in my hometown of Brooklyn, New York, October the 15th at 168 pounds, man. So let's run through the tail of the tape, man. We got Anthony Dirrell, man. He's at 34 wins, 2 losses, and no draws, 25 wins by way of knockout, 1 loss by KO, which was at the hands of David Benavidez. He's 38 years old, has a 65.79% knockout ratio, pretty much 66%. He stands at 6'2", 74-inch arm reach. We got Caleb Sweet Hands Plant. His record is at 21 wins, 1 loss, 0 draws, 12 wins by knockout, and he's been knocked out 1 time in his 1 loss by Canelo Alvarez. He's 30 years old. He has a 54.55% knockout ratio. He stands at 6'1" with a 74-inch arm reach. So him and Anthony Dirrell pretty much have almost the same dimensions. He's just a little shorter, and his arm reach is just a tad bit shorter than Dirrell's. He's much younger than Anthony Dirrell. So these things could play factors, or maybe not. But let's get into their attributes, man. The jab. I gotta give the jab to Caleb Plant. Even though Plant's jab is more of a parring jab, I never see him use the jab as like a tool to kind of like use it to keep people out there. It's like kind of like he does it as like a setup jab, man. Some of his fights I see him in, like he'll use a little jab where he'll just flick it out there, but for the most part, his jab is more of a it's not a setup jab, man. It's more like a jab that he uses like keep you away from him almost. Anthony Dirrell, man, his jab is almost nearly non-existent. He throws some jabs here and there in lots of his fights, but Caleb Plant's jab is a little bit more persistent than Anthony Dirrell, so I give Plant the jab. Outbox, I definitely get at the Caleb Plant. That's one of his best attributes is his outbox skills. Inside game, both these dudes got pretty decent inside game, but I say I give the nod to Caleb Plant slightly. I think his inside game is a little bit more, it's more responsible and it's less reckless than Anthony Dirrell's. Anthony Dirrell's inside game could be a little reckless. I've seen him get hit a few times while he was going to the body and trying to come up top. I've seen him get clipped a few times, but they both have inside game, but I think Caleb Plant's is a little bit more polished. Power definitely goes to Anthony Dirrell. He's the more harder puncher. He's more sharper. Speed. Anthony Dirrell is not exactly slow, but Caleb Plant does have the speed advantage. When you watch both of these dudes, I mean, you can see the speed in both of them, but it's not much of a wide gap between them. So Caleb Plant does have more hand speed, but it's not like worlds apart. So I give the nod to Caleb Plant with the hand speed. Accuracy, I give to Caleb Plant. He picks his shots much more. He's more patient with his shots, which most of the time that leads to more accurate punches. So I give that to Caleb Plant. I've seen Dirrell misses a lot. Sometimes he does this thing where he likes to lean in. He lunges, like he leans in too much. Sometimes he just throws himself kind of off balance. He did that. I think he did that to Benavidez and a few other fights I just saw him in last night. He was doing that. Punch volume. I definitely get at the Anthony Dirrell, man. He's gonna come at you. He's gonna put the pressure on you. He's gonna throw punches to the body, to the top, and back down again. Good combinations. That's the Anthony Dirrell's, man. That's his thing. Defense, hands down, goes to Caleb Plant, man. One of the best movers in boxing. Great head movement, his body movement, and his footwork. Excellent footwork. Over at Dirrell. Dirrell's more, like I said, he's not trying to evade you as much. He's trying to come forward a lot. He does have a little bit of defense where, he can slip punches and all of that, but he's not real crafty with it like Caleb Plant. So I give Plant that advantage. Footwork, I just got through saying 100% Caleb Plant. So I only give Anthony Dirrell 2 attributes out of all of these 9. I give him the power and the punch volume. That is it. I give Caleb Plant the jab, the outboxing, inside work, the speed, the accuracy, the defense, and the footwork. So Caleb Plant is definitely the more skilled fighter, man. So how does this fight look? You got Anthony Dirrell. Dirrell's a great counter puncher. He has a vicious uppercut. Caleb Plant's a dope counter puncher as well. He has a nice leaping left hand. The problem with Caleb Plant, man, he's his engine. We like it's kind of questionable. He gets a little tired. He kind of gasses a little bit towards the end of his fights. That could be a major problem for Caleb Plant in this fight, even though Dirrell's 8 years older. It could still be a problem because Dirrell has the power advantage over Caleb. And if Caleb start gassing, we might see something similar to the way Canelo knocked him out. You know, it might look like that. And if he can handle Dirrell's power, then we'll see it go to the cards with Dirrell getting the win. But if Caleb Plant starts piecing up Dirrell early, giving it to him, Caleb Plant is a tricky dude too. Like for the most part, it looks like he's much of an evasive fighter, but when he wants to, he can definitely sit down and punch and trade with you. And that's something Dirrell got to worry about. He got to worry about those lefts from those leaping lefts from Caleb Plant that could hurt. That could possibly hurt Dirrell, man. I know Caleb Plant ain't the biggest puncher, but he can hurt you. He can still hurt you with those punches, the ones you don't see coming. I see it being more of a cat versus chasing a mouse. I see it more Dirrell chasing after Caleb for most of the fight. And like I said, if Caleb can hold his engine and outbox him for the whole 12, he wins. If he gets tired at any point in that fight, Dirrell's gonna get him. He'll catch him and then he'll probably hurt him, probably to stop him or beat him the whole 12 rounds. On the later end of the fight, beat him up real bad to maybe a split decision, man. Who knows? But I'm more leaning towards Caleb Plant to outbox Anthony Dirrell for 12 rounds, man. I just think he's much skilled in the footwork department. Dirrell's a little older. I think the last fight was Benavidez, I believe. So they both coming off knockouts. Plant, he got the youth advantage, but like I said, Dirrell, I don't ever really see Dirrell get tired in a lot of his fights, and he's older. So, like I said, that could be a problem for Caleb Plant if his engine gasses out. Then and if he's gonna have to then stand there and bang with Anthony Dirrell. Can he? Absolutely. I've seen Caleb do it. He can stand there and bang with you, bro. He just chooses most of the time to move around, use his footwork, pot shot, stuff like that. I think Dirrell is probably gonna have to force him into a dog fight. He's gonna probably try to wear Caleb Plant down in the later rounds, and that I think is gonna be the deciding factor, man. Caleb's gonna have to pull some dog up out of him if he's gonna stand there and trade with him. He can't get himself hurt doing that. This is believe it or not, even though this is like the attributes are lopsided, this is a kind of hard fight to predict almost because Dirrell, he's tricky as well. He can be a dog, and then like you might think he's getting older and slowed down, but he's strong as shit. And then Caleb, you might think he's a pot shotter and a mover, but then he'll plant his feet and just sit there and then land some heavy shit on you if he wanted to, you know. So, but ultimately, bro, I think realistically speaking, I think it's gonna go more towards Caleb Plant outboxing Dirrell. He's gonna have to take some shots later on in the fight. You're gonna see some shots being landed on Caleb, but I think he'll be all right to the win. So I got Caleb Plant 12-round decision over Anthony Dirrell. Let me know what you think. This is your boy Rebel Life Boxing. I'll catch y'all later on the next one, and I'm out. Peace.